What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about 5 things I hate about my Audi RS3. Now, in all honesty, it's been an absolute mission coming up with things that I hate about this car, especially having to come up with 5. So, if in all honesty, it's more of a thing of things that I dislike rather than things I hate. Because I mean, have a look at this car. Everything about it, every single angle of this car is just absolutely beautiful. I can hear a golf going in the background, but the Nardo grade paint on this car is just impeccable. I mean, and then yeah, I've just covered up my plate there, but I love this car so much. Literally every single angle is beautiful. And yes, that is a ladder in the background. I'm using it as a stand for my stuff. I was going to use it as a stand for this video, but I thought I may as well vlog it. So without further ado, let's get into it. The very first thing that I absolutely hate about this car has got to be the way the valves open and close when I'm in individual mode, right? Obviously you have dynamic, you have individual, auto, comfort, etc., right? The issue that I have, let me just turn that off, is when I put it into individual and I just got in the car and didn't know which hand to put my phone in to video this. But anyway, let me turn this car on very quickly. That's another thing I love about the car. But you'll see now, let me close the door, that might help. When you're in individual mode, when you go forward and back, try see if you can hear this. Maybe let me put it into individual first. So you can obviously hear the valves open there. I don't know if that's coming through on camera, but the valves literally open and close every time you come to a stop, every time you reverse. It is so frustrating. I know it's a little like small issue and all, but for me it's a little bit frustrating. I always feel like there's something breaking or something that shouldn't be happening is happening, something along those lines. But that's how it is for me. I'll see if I can find a clip of it, but I don't know if it came through on camera there, otherwise I'll insert a clip. Now, number 2, this gearbox. Brilliant when you want it to be, brilliant for quick shifting, downshifting, for so much power, it's brilliant. But when it comes to traffic in Joburg, if anyone who lives here will be able to tell you, Joburg traffic is horrendous. Every single thing about it is terrible. So this car in traffic, in my experience, not that great. The gears are very jerky, feels like it's constantly overheating. It's actually a little bit frustrating to live with in that sense. And when I am in traffic, it's not like I'm in dynamic mode or anything fancy. I'm just an individual with the gearbox in auto, like normal. And it is overheating constantly. So that's the second thing I hate. Now, the third thing that I absolutely hate about this car has got to be the Apple CarPlay. I know this is going to be a little bit of a first world problem, but I live in a third world country, so I have every right to say this. But this is the very first car that I've had that has Apple CarPlay, right? Every other car before this, normal infotainment systems from VW, right? But this Apple CarPlay is so frustrating, right? So you have this sort of center console right here, and then obviously you have this plug, and you have 2 USB ports down there, and you can plug that in. Now, for CarPlay to work, you have to plug it in. it doesn't connect straight to there using Bluetooth. You have to plug it in here, which gets, sorry, there we go, very frustrating. Because if you just knock this a little bit out of your phone and it's like the slightest bit unplugged, then it's unusable. So it's a little bit frustrating in that sense. It's great when it's working. It always is working when the phone's plugged in properly. But for example, like I grab my wallet and then I knock the phone a little bit and then it unplugs itself. So you go through a toll gate and then you must plug the phone back in. You're getting pulled over by the cops. Not great. Hey, but who am I to say anything? I would think that by 2023 or 2018, in this example, that Audi would have figured out how to make Apple CarPlay Bluetooth, but it is what it is. Who am I to say anything different? I actually don't know if I've mentioned this before, but this is a 2018 Audi RS3. I'm sure most of you know that, but 2018, Nardo Grey, pretty much fully optioned, black optics package, etc, etc, etc. And coming from a Golf GTI, you know, I had the Golf R, I had a Golf GTI. This, overall, it's just an unbelievable car. I know it's so hard, as I said, to come up with a whole list of reasons as to why I hate this car. And I'm still even struggling with the fifth. But the reason I am doing this video is because I feel like it would be a very interesting one to watch for everyone, especially if you are looking at getting an RS3 at some point. I mean, these are the types of videos I watched for the past 5 years when all I could think about was an Audi RS3. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. And let's move on to the fourth thing I hate. Now, this fourth thing is a little bit of a tough one to wrap my head around because this car sounds so good as it is. It does have the sports exhaust, so it sounds unbelievable as it is. But it's got a soft limiter. So yes, when I want to try and annoy a lot of people, then it's the only time it would come in handy. But at the same time, you're paying R1 million plus for a so-called hyper hatch. You would think that there wouldn't be a soft limiter, right? You know, M2, M3, M4, similar kind of cars, none of them have soft limiters, right? But anyway, sounds really good as it is. Let's start her up and then you can hear how she sounds and I'll give a couple revs for you so you can see what I mean. Still sounds great, but it would be ideal without a soft limiter. Alright, let's start her up. As you can see, sounds unbelievable. But I don't know why I'm putting the handbrake down. Let's just put this into dynamic so you can hear what I mean. As I said, sounds great, but it has a soft limiter. It's a little bit irritating. Now, last but not least, the one thing that I can think of, and this was probably the hardest one to try and come up with, was the fifth and final thing I hate about this car. And it has to do with mods. In terms of engine mods, plenty things out there that I can do. However, when it comes to cosmetic mods, it's quite limited. I mean, for example, wheel options, there's not too many of them around. And the biggest problem with that is because of the brake discs. Because they are so massive, it's really, really tough to find wheels that can actually fit. And that's obviously one of the first mods you want to do on a car is wheels, right? So it's a little bit tough to find wheels that actually can fit those brake discs without having to do spacers. Now, in all honesty, the fitment is really good as it is, but now you have to buy wheels and then spacers. For me, it just doesn't make that much sense. Now, the other thing that I've also tried to look at is like body kit wise, front splitter, side skirts, wing, diffuser, etc, etc. And yeah, you can get some front splitters, some side skirts. The one thing I have found is the rear diffuser. You tend to be able to get quite a few more rear diffusers than anyone else, but reality is it looks quite good as it is. I would like it to be a bit more aggressive though. Now, in terms of wing, you only really have an option for it to come like a little bit more extended, not too much more. As I say, side skirts just a little bit, and then finally the front splitter. There's no mad designs or anything like that, unless you're going to look at something custom. And then when you're looking at things like your bonnet or fenders, you're talking stupid amounts of money at that point. And for me, it's just out of my budget at this point. One day, maybe, I might be saying things very differently back when it gets to that point. But for now, as I say, it's a little bit frustrating in the sense of having access to fewer mods. You know, owning the Golf, there was a lot more options out there. But overall, as I say, like, it looks so good as it is. There's not too much more that you would want to do anyway. So, yeah. I do have to say I'm very lucky in that sense that the car looks really good as it is. But I'm someone who does like to modify cars, so it would be nice to have some more options for at least when the time comes around. And finally, this is day 3 of the 90-day challenge of uploading every single day. So far, I'm really happy with how it's gone. Thank you so much to those who have joined, those who have supported. And I really look forward to posting some more, uploading some more. Let me know what kind of videos you guys would like to see. At some point, I will be talking about the 5 things I do love about this car. We're gonna go on some road trips. We're gonna do so many more things. And yeah, I'm excited for that. But until tomorrow, peace. Now, in all honesty, it's been an absolute mission coming up with a list of things that I hate.